This is another business studies flipped lesson. I'm going to talk to you today about strategic marketing planning. In a way, it's the roadmap for the whole marketing plan and direction of the marketing department of any business. I will talk to you about the following section that form part of a marketing plan in 6 steps. I'm going to cover situational analysis. What's the present state of the business, or what's the business idea that we want to market? We have to engage in a SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, and look at our competitors. Market research. This phase establishes who our potential customers are, what products they want, and what attributes they have. This is an essential part to any marketing plan. What market objectives are we going to set for the business? What does the business want to achieve from a sales and marketing point of view? The next step is that who should the business sell to? What segments of the market shall the business sell to? What strategies shall we employ to reach those customers in the target market that we've identified? We need to look at price, product, place, and promotion strategies. And lastly, we need to have an implementation plan. As part of that, we need a financial forecast and a marketing budget allocated. How much will the marketing plan cost? An important question is, does all our efforts in marketing actually increase the level of sales? A review must occur to compare actual to forecasted performance. Do strategies need changing or adjusting? That's an important part of the next step. And then we go for the whole cycle again if necessary. So this is where we start. What's the present state of our business? In order to do this, we must look at the product life cycle. So what stage of the product life cycle is the business product in? There are 4 stages. The establishment, to start with a new business idea, the growth stage, the maturity stage, and a decline stage, or sometimes also the post-maturity stage where the business is trying to avoid the decline stage. Different marketing strategies are required at each stage of the cycle. In the establishment stage, brand and reliability are being established. Price is noticeably lower than the competitors in order to gain a market foothold. In the growth stage, product quality is maintained and improved, and the price per unit of production is maintained. In relation to our promotion strategies, we're seeking a wider audience. Then we reach the maturity stage. Our product features and packaging will be changed to differentiate the products from those from our competitors, and also our prices may be adjusted to hold off our competition. In the decline stage, the product may need some rejuvenation and the price is reduced to sell the remaining stock. Promotion is cut and our efforts are turned into other profit-making products. Now let's look at the SWOT analysis. This is a tool which provides information to assess the current business situation and its position in relation to its competitors. Let's look first up at our internal influences, the ones that businesses themselves can look at. So we'll look at our strengths. What is a business good at? For example, a good product, service, a good location, knowledgeable employees, solid financial position, and able to use technology. Some weaknesses, again that's internal. We might have competent staff, or that it may be a weakness. Products may be in decline, facilities run down. There's some examples. Now we get to the external influences that run from outside of the business that can influence. There are some opportunities. Some examples can include benefits of new technology, economic outlook strong, interest rates low, new markets into Asia, inquiring other businesses. And opposing that are threats, declining market in economic trends, economic shocks, new laws, new competitors, and the list goes on. You can pause here if you like to take all that information in. Now we go to market research, arguably the most important part of the marketing plan process. Step 1. We need to determine what our information needs are. What's the aim or the problem, the issue that needs to be addressed? How can we measure this in our questionnaire? The second part, step 2, we collect the data. There's primary data that we collect, and that is mainly done by surveys and questionnaires from customers, and secondary data. Industry sources and government agencies provide lots of secondary data. And lastly, how do we analyse all that data and make interpretations from it, and they draw our conclusion about identifying our potential target markets. So what sort of questions do we ask in our questionnaire? First of all, we look at our customers. What are our customers like? Age, gender, stage of life cycle, income, where do they live, what are their motives? What products? What products do they want? Level of quality, level of service, what features? Does it have a warranty? Or can it be accessed from online sales? Competitors. Who are the business's main competitors? Where are they located? What are their competitive advantages? Some of this can be included in the SWOT, or you can have a separate SWOT on this part alone. Now once we've got that initial data and analysed it, we're ready to establish our market objectives. What do we want the business to achieve? Secondly, do we want to expand our product range? Market objectives. What do we want the business to achieve? Realistic and measurable goals that come from the basis of any marketing plan. These can include, do we want to expand our product range? Increase our market share? Maximise customer service? The next section is to identify our target markets. Is the group of present or potential customers the business wants to sell its product or service to? The customers within the target market have a similar set of attributes like age, income, lifestyle, stage of life cycle, location, and spending patterns. The questions we might ask are, what segment of the market are we targeting? Here we have a grammatic illustration. Are we going for the whole market, the total market, the mass market? Or are we going for a certain segment of the market, called the segment market approach? For example, the electronics market can be divided into phones, smartphones, 4-inch screen phones, etc. Or the niche market approach over here. A specialised but a very small part of the market, for example, a specialised boutique. A market can be segmented into further types. Psychographic. Factors that influence the consumer's buying behaviour such as perceptions, motives, attitudes and personality. Demographic. In terms of age, gender, location, income, life cycle, education, social class. Geographic. Region, suburb, whether rural or urban. Behavioural. There's a lot of research done on that. Purchase occasion, how many times do they buy this particular product? How loyal are they? The usage rate. The ultimate aim of market segmentation is to increase sales, market share and profits by better understanding the target market and the attributes. Economic factors determine the business capacity to compete and the customer's willingness to spend. The stage of the economic cycle will determine the level of demand for goods and services. When there's a downturn, consumers' incomes will be lower and consumers will demand less. Conversely, if in good economic times, they will open their wallets and spend more readily. In downturns, what consumers do, they also save more, which exacerbates the situation of them generating demand for goods and services. Now let's look at government influences. Government policies can influence customers' willingness to spend via a raft of taxes, subsidies, grants and incentives. Governments also regulate behaviour for both businesses and consumers. The ultimate aim of market segmentation is to increase the sales, market share and profits by better understanding and responding to the desires of the different target customers. Once we've identified all this, we're ready to go to the next stage, which is developing market strategies. This is done by looking at the elements of the marketing mix. How is the business going to achieve objectives within the research of the market, identification of target customers and their attributes? Let's look at the diagram. You'll note that in the middle of the diagram we've got the target market. That's what we've been doing all this work for. The 4 P's determine the emphasis on the business will place on each one of those variables, namely the product, the price, the place and promotion. Let's go into more detail. Price. Selecting the right price is always difficult in light of competitive factors, level of demand for the product and the cost of production, and of course the product life cycle. The product, as well as the product itself, you need to consider the quality of the packaging, the design, model variations, brand name and warranties allowed. Promotion, that's what we see most commonly on TV. There's strategies to inform and remind customers about its products. This includes advertising, personal selling, sales promotions, publicity and public relations. And lastly, place, where you're going to get this product from. It deals with the channels of distributions of getting the product to the consumer. Traditionally has been from a manufacturer who sold it to a wholesaler, to a retailer and then to you the customer. Now we need to include online sales and distribution as well. Now we come to the last section, the marketing, implementation and review process. The marketing plan needs to include a budget for implementation as well as for sales forecast and a cash budget. How does the budget need to be restructured and who will be responsible? How do the marketing strategies and messages are communicated to staff? Once the plan has been implemented, managers need to compare actual results with forecast results. If there's any big variances, they need to be analysed and to see why. This forms part of any normal review process that might recommend changes in the marketing mix or strategies in the future. So there you have it. This is a whole process of marketing planning that any business will go through. You can see all the bits and pieces that I've discussed with you today. Obviously you can go back and look at them in more detail. I hope this has been beneficial to you. Thank you for listening, and now you have to look forward to lots and lots of activities that I will give you from now on.